The prayer by Amun-Rayay, written by Panabab Yanu. Nakuk Saduk de Amun-Rayay, U Nabab Mumaduhu, Umadeyaru, Umuzehu, Li Panan Zaman, U Wakat, Panabab Yanun, Kalel Hamadad, Ater Amun-Rayay, Latar Shalil, Papatat, U Pa Taha, Anuke, Nawap. I trust by way of Amun-Rayay and his master teachers, and his papyri, and his warner for this day and time, Panabab Yanun. All praises are for Amun-Rayay, overseer of the heavens and the earth. I am Nuwapian.
Thank you, son. And that prayer can be found in the back of the Patarak concentration, authored by, again, Panabab Yanun. All right. Who was that first spiritual experience, family?
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to say if there's anybody here from any other platforms that you got the call from, or you got the codes to call in from, go ahead and introduce yourself. We don't want you to feel like you're not part of the family, and welcome home.
Thank you. Any new people today? We love you, family. Please speak up just so you hear. We'd like to introduce you and welcome you home. All right,
I'm Kiki.
Very good.
Live
Kiki.
in North Dakota from Louisiana.
Very good. In North Dakota. All right, everybody, please welcome to Sister Kiki home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Much love and light.
Thank you.
Very good. We love you. You have any particular questions or anything you'd like to share with us?
Not at the moment.
I have a question.
Hold on, Ann.
Robert. Yeah, a spiritual experience, Amun.
Okay.
Wait, Ann.
The Sister Kiki, you said you had something? One second. Let's see, Cheryl, if she has something she'd like to share or a question she'd like to ask.
No. Not at the moment.
Kiki?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Did you have a question or something you'd like to share?
No questions at the moment.
Very good. All right, but just know that you're welcome here. We love you, and you're part of the family. And don't hesitate to ask a question. This is what the whole forum is about. And Cheryl, thank you for your patience. Please, beloved, let me hear what your experience or question is.
It was Anne.
Okay, Anne. Okay, are you still on the islands, Anne?
Yes, I'm on the island, Caribbean island.
Well, get some of that sunshine for us.
Beautiful island. Had a spiritual experience
Very
the other
good.
day. Walking down Mexico, me and my husband, and someone called my name. I heard a voice call out. And my husband said, somebody's called your name out. Looking all around, couldn't see anyone. Thought there was somebody that was walking along, spoke to me, but it just came out of nowhere, the voice.
Literally, you mean you looked around and you didn't see any person?
I didn't see anyone.
Okay. Okay. Did the voice say anything in particular?
Sorry?
It only called your name, didn't say anything in particular?
No, just called my name out loud. So it echoed all around like it was vibrating in the air. And it wasn't like somebody was talking next to me. It was just echoed all around the like.
Well, let me ask you, Anne, how did you feel about that? Did you have a good or feeling about it or a negative feeling? What did you feel? Or just curiosity?
I thought it was like the ancestor voice trying to contact me, but I couldn't understand what they wanted. It was just my name.
All right, that is odd.
That.
Yeah, that's unusual.
Huh?
That is odd.
Yeah, it was my husband pointed it out because he heard it as loud and clear as well. And seeing that he heard it, I realized that I wasn't imagining it because he heard that.
Okay, well, we believe in you. But that was we believe in you. That was a strange occurrence, yes. Thank you. And who else has a spiritual experience they'd like to share or a question they'd like to ask?
I have a question.
Very good.
So Moon, you have experienced not sleeping.
That's definitely.
Like for.
Yes.
What was that like? Like the feeling of like, since you haven't, let's say you just haven't slept for like a whole week. Like,
yes.
What was that like? Did you feel like it was weird, or like how should I go about it? Like if I only get like 4 hours of sleep or so, like getting less sleep, like how should I like?
All right, my question is, do you feel drained and tired, lifeless, low energy, or not? Or you just marking
No.
it? You know, okay. Well, that's a good thing then, because your vibrations are raising up. You're becoming more conscious, and you don't see. When you start talking about prophets and apostles and people sent from the Most High, light workers, they require very little eating or sleeping. Are you following me? Because they're ascending back to their natural form like they were before they took on the corporeal body. You used to be a simple electromagnetism or a spiritual being, and you didn't require food or sleeping and those mortal things. You follow me?
Yeah. Do you allow it to happen naturally, or do you try and like, I wouldn't say force it, but try and like get yourself?
I don't really try. I just maintain. I just go through the day and night just like anybody else, except that I always end up in the middle of the afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock the next day with the sun high, right? And then I just don't even attempt to go to sleep because the day is moving already. But I usually don't feel tired. I'm not yawning and this, that, and the other, you know. And the same thing about eating. You know, I don't really have an appetite to eat anything. And if people bring me something to eat, when I look at it, if I take a bite or two, then I ask to come and get it. I just don't want any more. And I find myself saying, they don't want me to eat anymore. Right? Because I just don't have I never did the strange thing, and this is true of Amun-Rayay. Did you all know that he never got I never got hungry. I'm never hungry. I just eat because it's habitual. I see others do it, and I figure it's time. You know, I haven't eaten today, and I try to think of things that I have a taste for. You know what I mean? But I don't actually have hunger pains, right? Another thing about Malachi is that he goes days without sleeping. A lot of times what he'll do is he'll sit in a very comfortable chair and let the night pass by to give his body rest. You follow what I mean? But his mind is continuously, his consciousness is awake. And what he does, a lot of times, a lot of people don't realize that there was a time he didn't sneeze or cough at all. And people around him used to question him about it, so that after they kept asking him why he wasn't having these natural body functions, he started going, achoo! And, you know, doing things like that just to comfort people around him, right? And a lot of times he would have on 4 or 5 televisions at one time, because there were people that visited him in lockup that would comment to me. I was there with him a couple times when he would talk to 2 or 3 people that want to have a conversation, with like two brothers and a sister at the same time and didn't miss a beat with anybody. Are you following me? In other words, if you're talking to him, you have a conversation with him, he has your full attention, you have his. But there's another brother, couple, maybe other brothers and sisters just talking to him, and he's conversing with them with the same focus. You follow? And not getting confused about the thought lines. He's a different being. He's a very powerful and a different being, though. But he and I are one. As he said in the DVD that he created, the video proving the existence of God, right? If you all recall, he said, there's another God here. And he's thinking outside the box. He's not trapped inside of persons, places, and things, right? He'll do it a little differently. And that he's not a resident, he's a visitor. And then he was teaching people his doctrine on the chalkboard. Remember, he took the eraser and he erased it, all the writing that he had previously written, and he said, and all this old stuff has got to, who remembers what he said?
I've got to go.
I've got to go.
I've got to go. I've got to go. That's right. I didn't take that to mean that he negated all of his previous teachings, but that there was a new deity here, not a deity new to existence, but new to manifest and quantity to make his presence known on earth, because I am Amun-Rayay. And anybody know what that name translates? What does Amun-Rayay mean? Amun.
The hidden one.
Exactly. The hidden one. So just like in the Holy Injil, when he states that in 1970 there was a meteorite shower, and that two well-known astronomers documented it, and they refer to us as Bennett, right? Again, Ben is singular Hebrew for son or child, like Ben-Hur, the son of Hur, or Ibn, like Isa, Ibn Maryam, Jesus, son of Mary. But Benat is plural. It means the children, that there were 29 of us that day of the opening that came. But they called him Bennett because his light shone the brightest. It referred to him as the bright star, right? But that there were many of us that came that remained hidden, but carried out a very important mission, undercover, a very necessary job. And I referenced last class this white woman, teacher J.Z. Knight, you'll recall, and she goes by the title of Ramtha. But I was telling you that the 11th elder is really channeling through the white woman, and his name is Rama. Are you following me? Mm-hmm. So he's in the world carrying out a very necessary job, but he's actually hidden, inside the body of a Caucasian woman, right?
Ooh.
Okay. I hope I didn't seem to confuse people more. Go ahead.
Let's Kim. I have a question.
You said that last class you were in a coffin with Gabriel at the foot of the coffin. Can you please elaborate on that and tell us what that meant?
Well, what that meant, after deep concentration, I'm always trying to figure out the meaning of experiences like that, and that was profound. In fact, the suit that I was wearing in the coffin is one that I had in the closet, right? And so what I did, I was disturbed by the vision. So the brother and sister that are here with me right now, Anukas and Hotep, could you all tell the people what I asked you to do with the suit?
He asked us to take his suit and up to the Goodwill people and give it away to them. So that's what I did.
Hotel. And I bear witness to that.
Okay, now my please stop 60 phones. My thinking in that was that for one time, Father Babianu was teaching a class, and there was a sister that stood up, and I think she was trying to show him her commitment and dedication, and she raised her hand and stood up and said to him, I had a dream about you, master teacher, that two men came to try to shoot you, and I jumped in front of the bullet, in front of the gun. And he said, no. And we never saw that sister again. He had her dismissed. Because you all are deities, and whatever you think is a reality. So what he did when he got rid of the sister, affectionately, is he got rid of her vision, the guns, and the bullet. There was nothing for her to jump in front of. She wasn't there because with her gone, that thought didn't exist anymore. You follow me? And so I thought in my mind, however immature it may have been, I thought maybe if the suit was gone, then so would the image of me being in the coffin. But I found out it's a lot deeper than that. What it really represented is that I was younger looking in the coffin, and not a lot younger, but I was probably 10, 13 years younger. And I realized that what it was is that that's exactly the way I looked in 3/26/13, the year I was taken up in a whirlwind along with Partner Babianu, because the vortex opens up every 10 years since 1943. The Philadelphia experiment opened up a time-space continuum, a warp in space. And he was taken up again in 2003. I missed that, but I was taken up in 2013 along with him, right? And when you're taken out of your body like that, you know, sleep, I told you all, sleep and death are brothers and sisters. The only difference with death is that when you leave your body, the elders cut the cord and you can't re-enter it the same way when a baby separates from the mother by the umbilical cord being cut, and they can't re-enter the womb, so it has to begin a free and independent life on this side. So in essence, you die out of one reality and then born tabdak, you ascend, or born into another, right? So when I was taken up in that whirlwind, I actually died here on earth, and it was to be reborn in a higher plane, but I didn't stay. You follow me? I was taken up in I'll recant for those that don't know. I was laying in a bed and in the dark, and that was the only one in the whole property was me and my cat, Pink. And she was asleep at the foot of the bed. And I was awakened, the light, it was pitch black, but all of a sudden the room was lit. It was evenly lit all over. There was no central source of light like a light bulb come from anywhere. It was a spiritual light that encompassed everything. And there was a strong wind rotating around me, sounded like a tornado. Real strong, you follow me? And I was thinking to myself, this is so strong it's going to suck the whole house up. It's probably a tornado. And so I reached out with my long arms and grabbed both sides of the mattress and tried to stick to the bed. And it got so strong, I folded up the mattress like a taco shell, right? And I was just holding on. And I looked down at the foot of the bed, and my cat thinks she had her side to the head of the bed and was perched up like a bird dog staring at its prey. And she had one foot lifted up, you know, and her head was cocked and looking up at the wall staring. So I followed and traced the line of vision, and I saw this big black oval-shaped creature, bigger than my hand, that had legs on it, kind of like a spider. And I have arachnophobia. I don't like spiders. I'm really afraid of them. You know, I just can't stand them. And the wind was blowing so hard in a circle, that thing was flapping on the wall, holding on by just like some legs on one side. It was flapping in the wind. And when I was laying on the pillow, I had raised up. This is what would happen to any of y'all when you experience what you call dying. You raise up, right? I raised up, and I was thinking to myself that we're going to blow that thing around. It's going to slap me in the face, that spider, or whatever it was. And so I was saying to my cat, I was telling her, kill it. But I couldn't make a sound. I didn't realize then that because I was out of my physical body, I didn't have a larynx anymore. So I was trying to talk to her mind to mind. And she felt it because she's a very spiritual cat. So she ran over and jumped on my chest and was looking at me in confusion. But I think her eyes were saying, I love you, brother, but you want that thing, Dad, you kill it. I'm not touching that. Do you understand me? And I was thinking to myself, I hear what you're saying, little one. I really do. I feel you. Right. I don't want to touch it either with a 10-foot. Yeah, no, not that. But what happened is that I slumped back down, right? And then I lost consciousness. The wind was getting stronger and stronger, and it was pulling me up. And I was resisting and fighting against it, but then somewhere deep inside, I said to myself, you see, that's how you always blocking your gifts, through fear. Through fear. I'm going to let go and just fly on up this tube. So I let go and stopped resisting, and I instantly shot up, right up through my ceiling, right? And there was a big piece of sheetrock. Hotep, can you bear witness to that? Oh, y'all both saw it. Because I had to fix it. And I thought that was odd that a spiritual event could affect physical forms. But it had tore a big hole in the ceiling, and I photographed it. Do you all remember that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes. I bear witness to that because when I got back here, I was on the road, but when I got back, the hole was up there, and I kept looking at it. I said, what happened there? And he told me what happened.
That's right. I was taken up, and I was sucked up by a sham, a crown-shaped craft that it sucks you up. And I know the Sister Kiefer. Are you here, Amun?
Yes, I am.
Okay, remember you
I want to say, this is Lucas. I too saw that hole in the ceiling over his bed. Yes,
right. You remember recently you sent me a video of a man being sucked up in a vortex.
Yes, and it looked like a real big, bright beam of light.
That's right.
That was circular.
Except this light is green. This light that was sucking me up is green. I recall it very vividly. And you start traveling up to the craft at light speed. In fact, you break light speed. And when you break light speed, at that point, you become an immortal. Another time you become immortal is that any time that you have dinner, eat with the Anunnaki on the Biru, in which I did that as well. But I was sucked up in this funnel at light speed, and I had lost consciousness. And then I came to a full stop, and I regained consciousness, and I looked to my left, and there was this odd-looking being, like burnt orange skin with skin tags all over the left side of his body from head to toe. And he was staring at me real balefully or mean-like, so I turned away from that. I didn't want to look at him just like that big thing on the wall. And I just asked a question. I don't know who I was asking, but I said, where's Malachi? And the voice said, he's up there above you. So I said, well, take me up to see Malachi. And whoo, I started flying up again, lost consciousness again. And when I came to myself, I was in like what I thought was a masonry or concrete basement. Like I was surrounded by masonry, like concrete. There was a brick wall to my left that I couldn't see through, but I knew that there was another room on the other side of it, and I don't know how I knew that, except that my higher senses were activated. And then I looked over to my right in the corner, and there was masonry steps coming down with a very bright light at the top of the staircase. And then there was Malachi. He was halfway down those steps from upstairs, and he had a bunch of brothers and sisters behind him, all dressed in white. By the way, Anukas wanted to remind you all that she's ready to take your measurements and down payments, so she'll start putting together your white gowns for the brothers and sisters that are making orders, right? But anyway, attention goes where you focus. wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. So next thing, I was in front of Malachi, looking straight in his eyes. I don't know whether I was taller or just floating in the air, because he was up on the staircase, and his eyes were solid green. There was no retina in the middle. They were just, the whole thing was just solid green. And I had so many questions I wanted to ask, like, where am I at? Why am I here? And what's going on? But his eyes started moving rapidly from side to side, real fast, faster and faster. And I saw that before in the vision. You know, I was taken up like he was in a glass phone booth, and I walked by and I could see those same green eyes going side to side. And so I was on a pivot, on a swivel. I was trying to follow his eyes side to side as fast as I could. And I got all upset, right, because I couldn't keep up. And I just bust out and I said, what makes you think I'm ready to be taken up now? And as soon as I said that, I woke up in my bed again. I don't know how much time passed or whatever, but I told you all that you come here whenever you get ready and you leave, or what you call die, whenever you get ready. Do you understand that? And so the significance of it is that when I was taken up the second time, I was standing up somewhere. I don't know where I was, but it was dark. And I looked up in the sky, and there was a very bright, bright star. I called it a star, but it was more than that. And the star kept getting bigger and bigger, which means it was getting closer and closer, and brighter and brighter. And there was another smaller star, orbiting around it, right? Because I could tell when it was blinking off and on, when it was behind it, and what have you. And it looked like Saturn with the little thing orbiting around it, and it kept getting closer and closer and closer and bigger, till it encompassed me, engulfed me, and I lost consciousness again. And with that ball, that big light. And the next thing I knew, I came to consciousness again, and I was looking down on the earth and the moon from outer space. It was beautiful, but it was cloud covered. And the clouds parted, and I could see two armies. The one on the left was from the world, like soldiers, and the ones on the right were like looked like black uniforms, like reptilians or something. But all I can tell you is that when they clashed in the middle, it was like if you asked somebody to fight and tell them to go outside and practice your falling. And they said, "What do you mean by that?" That's all the fight gonna be. I'm gonna hit you and you gonna hit the ground. Those reptiles was tearing them up. It was just like they didn't have a chance, and tearing them up. And I thought, I was looking at that. And then I lost consciousness again, and I was taken up even further, deeper into space. And I was out there so far. And when I opened my eyes again, I looked down to my left and I saw Nibiru in perfect, vivid detail, just like in the books that Malachi depicts it. And to the left of that and to the bottom of the Nibiru, I saw this bright little light. So later, I was confused by it, but later on when I was walking, I figured out that was that little thing that was evolving. So Nibiru was that bright star, that bright light that I saw. That was Rilo 7. That was the planet, Planet X. That was Nibiru. And then I was drawn to something in my right periphery, and I looked over there, and that was a chocolate baby girl, perfect baby infant, tumbling head over foot, like she was doing cartwheels, I guess you could call it. And she was tumbling, this perfect baby girl, tumbling toward the earth. And I just knew instinctively that was my student, an 86-year-old woman named Susan Campbell in Brooklyn. And she loved baby girls and used to always tell me wherever she saw them, she would ask the parents, could she buy them gifts and give them food and this, that, and the other. And that she had a hard upbringing, so I figured that she always wanted to come back as a little girl and relive her life or something. And she was granted that wish, and so she was tumbling toward the earth again, toward being reborn. And then I looked over to my left again, and I saw a sham, a perfectly black stainless steel sham with a gold rim around the bottom. And it was an extremely bright light emanating from the bottom of the sham. And then 3 gold rings ran up and clinged to that big circle. Cling, cling, cling. And the next thing I know, I was seated on the bureau, and I was looking out a port window to the left, and there was a being sitting on my right in the dark, a shadow, but then behind my back I could see a light plane was on. And I turned around, it was like a medical facility, and my mother was in the bed, and she was young, like in her 20s. Her hair was all black, and she was shiny and young, just like vibrant, like before, when I was a little bitty boy. And standing next to her, there was a black nurse, but her back was turned. She had on a uniform just like an earthly nurse. She was kind of heavy set, but she was just standing there. And my mother was in the bed, and I was comforted by that vision. I was just happy to know that she had made it, I guess, to heaven or whatever you call it. And I turned around and put my attention back on this being sitting next to me on my right. And I could see the silhouette of it. It had a long head, kind of like on Alien with Sigourney Weaver, you know. And it was insectoid, like with an exoskeleton, you know. Kind of black and shiny with a long head and a little light beard with the mouth sticking out like an ant, a giant ant. And I looked out the window and I started, because I was nervous, I started chatting. I said, Nibiru is a ascendant craft. It's part metallic and crystal and metals and what have you, but it's also made of a living soul. And the being next to me in the dark, his head was going up and down. He was just saying, yeah. So I tried to tune in and look at this guy real hard. And when I started trying to see what that was, I woke up in bed again. You follow me? But now I was taken up a couple times more in 2013. And one of those times, I found myself standing in looked like a gym or something, a big auditorium. And there was a big, tall, I always see this big, tall, skinny black guy. He's real dark and real tall, like over 9 feet, 12 feet, something like that. And he said, "We'll kill you, you know." And I just went through me. I got all upset. And when I said, "Well, you perfect. You never did anything wrong," you know. And I don't know how to explain to y'all, but I was so upset, I defecated on myself, right? And then I asked him, I said, "Where are the facilities?" And then he told me, and I went and, you know, took care of myself. I was embarrassed and this, that, and the other. But anyway, next thing, the scene changed, and it was like an auditorium, a cafeteria. And everybody had trays and getting their plates and, you know, like you do in line. And I was pointing out, I want this or that. And every station I went to, he was there. He was serving the food. He was at the place where you get the plates. He was there. So I looked up at that guy and I said, "So you everywhere, right?" You know? And he didn't say nothing. So I went and sit down, and I noticed on my plate, I don't remember all the food was on it, but I remember this big triangle-shaped piece of fish. And there was a heavy-set sister, black woman, sitting to my right. And a little bitty boy, a brown-skinned, light brown-skinned boy, big, I guess probably about 4 years old, the way he looked. He walked up to me in front of me, and he said, "Can I have some?" And I was about to say, "Sure, little fella," like anybody would, right? But this sister busted in and said, "Oh, go ahead and give the little fella." So I want to say, "Bitch, shut up. What you thought I wasn't going to give the little kid something? What's the matter with you? I don't need no help here." But before I let my emotions run away with me, I just said, "Be quiet, brother. You don't even know where you at." You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? but I let him. He picked up the fish and he bit off of it. And he started chewing the fish. He chewed it all up, and while I was focusing on her, I saw him reach in his mouth and get a big ball of the fish out and put it back on the plate. Now, I wanted to say, "You little bastard, what is wrong with you?" You know, but I was saying, "Man, these motherfuckers crazy." You know what I'm saying? So, but I did eat with him, you know. So, in other words, I knew at that point I was immortal, right? And I was taken up. I had experience. I was taken up again in that light, and I was sitting on the seat, and I had two beings one on my left and one on my right. But I could still look out the port window to the left. And what we had broke speed. We were moving faster than light. But in my mind, I was trying to tell them that I knew what was happening, that I was leaving this world at the other, but I was trying to tell them, wait a minute, fellas, I still have energy. I'm not too tired. I have a mission. I'm not finished working. So I invoked pictures in my mind of being somewhere like in the Antarctic or Alaska, where they had a big snow mound on the left and a big snow mound on the right, and like an antelope or something, I was leaping from one mound of snow to the other and back and forward to show them I had vitality, right? And I was resisting back and forth and bucking, like this. And they said, all right, we're taking you back to Earth, but you're going to be in another dimension. And I want to say, wait a minute. What do you mean? But I woke up back in bed again. And it was dust everywhere. My bills were overdue. My braids had overgrown. They were all tangled up. I don't know where I went, how long I was gone, but it was a different time system than they have here, right? But I said all that to say this. There's no such thing as death in the way that you think of it conventionally, right? And I didn't feel any distress or anything when it happened. In fact, I couldn't even tell. It was so smooth, I didn't even know what was happening, right? But I still had mortal fears I was holding on to because I wanted to get rid of the suit to try to get rid of the scene. But right now, I think that was me sitting at the foot of the coffin, my spiritual self, my astral body. And I knew it was me because he was dressed in white, a white gown like Anouk is making for those that they call up and order them right now. But I was seeing myself in the back, but I knew that it was me distinctly sitting at the foot of my coffin in a chair. And I couldn't figure out what that meant, except that was my body there in the coffin, shining, looking strong, but definitely, in repose. I was not alive. The body wasn't. But my astral body was sitting in a chair at the foot of my coffin. And I could see it clearly. There was no lid on it. It was just me sitting there in repose, laying there in repose. And so I could identify that suit. I knew that which suit it was. So I just thought, I don't know what y'all would have thought, but I was thinking, get rid of the suit, right? And so that's what I did. And I had so many experiences. I spent more time out there than I did here. I remember one time I went to Tamaray, it was late at night, and Malachi was teaching in Solomon's Temple. And when I got there, it was so crowded, there was only standing room. Them niggas was packed like sardines or slaves on a ship. And so I stood up against the back, with my back to the back wall, and I'm tall, and so I looked over the crowd and made eye contact with him. He made eye contact with me. And when he saw me, he did what he usually does. He stopped teaching. You see them big white teeth, he was grinning. And he jumped down off the stage. And I couldn't see him because he's not very tall, but there was no room at all. But them niggas parted like the Red Sea, and he walked to me just like them Negroes wasn't even in there. And he walked all the way back to me, and he stopped in front of me and looked up at me, and he said, "You having trouble here because you belong to two worlds." And then he turned around and started walking off, and I said, "You too." And he threw his right hand up in the air with his one pointer finger, shaking it while he was walking away, like, "That's right, buddy." And he walked back and got back on the stage and started teaching again. But again, I kept on thinking to myself, what does he mean by I belong to two worlds? And I guess the simplest way to put it is that I'm that physical body and that being, that astral being here. And so there's another entity inside of me. And I thought to myself, that's not unusual because everybody's like that. All of you have you have other beings inside of you too. That's who when you're talking to yourself and your child hears you and say, "Who are you talking to?" And then you laughing and say, "You call me." I'm in there talking to myself. That's you talking to that higher self or whatever. or when, you know, you use your physical vision and you can look around the room, but you can't see through the walls. It's restricted to the floors, walls, and ceiling. But when you close your physical eyes and use your inner eye, your mind's eye, your third eye, you can see a car parked outside. And more than just through the walls, you can see your best friend on the playground in school. And what's even deeper is that you all have had visions and saw things that hadn't taken place yet, and they were vivid. And then later on, you traveled on the earth plane, and you with somebody, and you tell them when you see something unfold in front of you, hey, I saw this in my dream 2 weeks ago. Remember that? But you have to ask yourself, how did you see the future in a physical form? It's because you wasn't in a physical form. You were like John on the Isle of Patmos. You were taken up in the Spirit on the Lord's day. Because every night when you go to sleep, you raise up in vibrations, and when your physical brain falls in a slumber in your physical body, your spirit, which never sleeps, you know, reflecting on our previous conversation, is that your spirit never sleeps. The aspect of you that belongs to the Most High, He merely shares in you become when He created you of sonically a black mud, blew His breath into your nostrils, and thus you became a living soul by way of inspiration, a way, W-A-H-Y, inspiration. He blew that light into you. That light is the light that lights the heart of every man and woman that comes into the world, the light that shines in the darkness. The darkness comprehends it not, meaning you God, but you forgot it. That light goes down to the base of your spine, and then it starts raising up Jacob's ladder, which is your spinal column. 33 notches on it, corresponding with you describe it 33 degrees in Freemasonry, or 7 seats, seals, chakras, or planes, as it elevates past the midway point, or the lotus breastplate, to the laryngeal seat, and then up to the pineal gland, and it keeps going up till it gets to the crown molar every night. And when that ball of light is in your temple again, which is not a building down the street or a church, but the place on the side of your head next to your ears, that's your temple. Well, that ball of light, that warm light, it just, at the top of your head, you have an etheric cord attached. It's a thin, transparent, hollow tube, like a cobweb that's hollow inside. And when that light gets to the mouth of that tube, it raises up in vibration, and it starts expanding in the opening, like a woman dilating to give birth, is what it is. Like the umbilical cord and the etheric cord have some kind of connection. And when the mouth of that opening gets wide enough every night to accommodate that light, then the real essence of you that sits at the foot of your body, it raises up in light like Bennett, and it travels into that hollow tube. And that's what people in near-death experiences describe as going through a tunnel. Then you feel like you're flying and floating in what you think is a dream. It's actually astral flight, or OBE, out-of-body experience. And you start, wherever your attention goes, you start seeing different places and different people. Some you know and some you don't, right? And then after you get through traveling, you start sliding back down that tube to go back and reanimate the flesh. And you felt like you were falling. Remember? You felt like you were falling? And you got scared, but you never hit the ground. You just woke up because you didn't come from the ground. You came from the top of your head. And when you get back into your head, some of you were impatient and tried to move real quick, and you couldn't. And old people said that was a witch riding your back, but it's really sleep paralysis, because you have to be absolutely patient enough to allow that light to travel back down the light cord of your spine, and you're probably be seated in the solar plexus in order to trigger electrical impulses that will allow you to make certain muscles contract and expand through electrical impulses, so you can move your fingers and eventually your toes and feet so you can stand up and operate that body again. You follow me? And you wake up again disoriented, and at first you don't know where you're at or what's happening because you're confused. Some of you even stumble to the bathroom and stand down in the toilet at the urine. You're trying to figure out, and then you start remembering, oh, I'm so-and-so. I have to go to school or go to work. I have a family, and then you start reconnecting with your life here on earth, or your existence here on earth. You follow me? And you wake up and start your day like that. And then you remember where you were traveling, and you think of it as a dream, right? And you say to somebody sometime, if you saw them there traveling on an astral plane, you'll say, I saw us last night, and we were having a picnic in my dream. And my question to you is who was it that was looking at both of you in that dream? My question is,
the overseer.
Right. That was your higher self was looking at you. So that's the one that's sitting at the foot of my coffin looking at my body. You know what I mean? But what I want to know is who was it that was looking at the astral being at the foot of my coffin and me in the coffin? It was somebody looking at both of us. You understand? So it's something higher than the spirit. It's got to be a living soul. You follow me?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. I hope I'm not confusing people. I'm just trying to really clear things up for you and anticipate a lot of questions that you might have and don't know how to arrange the questions to ask it, but it's things you always wanted to know, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
It does, Amun.
Yeah, I'm trying to anticipate what your questions might be along those lines, but you don't know how to frame the questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
So who were the prophets who were called up in the world?
Wait. One at a time, please. I'm sorry.
Who were the prophets that were called up in the world?
Lying down, and it feels like you fell down in the bed while you're still lying down.
You have an OBE. You see, you raise up your vibrations, and the spirit leaves the body. And as your spirit ascends, you have this sensation that your body is dropping down through the mattress. You feel like you're sinking into the mattress, but you're actually, as your consciousness is ascending up toward the ceiling. Yeah. I'll follow you. I know I came to you a lot when you were living in Pennsylvania, and the light and took you out your body as well, yeah. Could you tell them about one time you woke up sitting in a lotus position?
Yeah. I was lying. When I got up, when I saw myself, I was moving across the room towards the bedroom door, and it was in the dark, but I could see myself sitting in a lotus position, just like a big lump of nothing, just not moving. My body and the outline of my body moving to across the room was blue. My whole body was outlined in blue.
You're confusing them right now. She didn't mean her physical body. That was just a black lump of empty clay on the bed. But her astral body was a blue light. That's the spiritual body. And I am the blue light Pharaoh. I'm here for y'all. Go ahead.
And I was very young, but I didn't have a gender. I was not genderized.
Because you didn't have genders before you came here. You're neither male nor female, yet both. That's right. And you choose your parents and the gender and your race, all that, when you get here. In other words, you all are enigma. By that I mean, if you're sitting in a chair or you're in your house, if you look around the room, if you can see another empty chair or place that you could sit other than where you are sitting, if you could imagine right now that I took your soul out and put it in that other empty chair, and your spirit and put it over there, and your personality put it over there, your memories and your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions, put all that over that other chair, what would be left here on the phone with us?
Nothing.
Do you see? And the problem as a result of the difficulty, that's the difficulty as a result of the problem is far too frequently people identify with their physical form as this is me. You know, in other words, you say, I'm here talking to myself. You think that voice is some big peripheral ghost stational aspect of yourself that's not really you. But the real you is the one you see in the mirror, the body, and that's not true. That's why Partner Babianu kept saying you have to make the journey within and turn yourself inside out. And I added, and your perspective of who and what you really are. Because you're not the physical body, you're not that personality, you're not that situation. You're only watching this happen from above. Like I was watching myself at the foot of my coffin and myself in the coffin. The real me was the one watching that, just like the real you was the one that saw you and the other person that was with you in that dream when you woke up and said, I saw also last night in the dream. Who was the one that saw y'all in the dream? That was the real you, not you or the person you was with. You follow me?
Sure.
We call it far back and beyond. I hope people are not confused. That's not my intent. And I'm not trying to talk no heavy jargon or what do you call it, sound heavy or whatever. I'm just trying to In fact, I'm trying to communicate to you all as simplistically as I can put it, like catch the ball. And I'm trying to do it in terms and have you relate to situations that you've experienced so that you can identify with what I'm saying, like when you leave your body at night and etc., right? Sleep paralysis, you know, so what happens with this doctrine is it's a heat, and it raises up your vibration. Like while you're listening to me talk, I have 3 tones in my voice, and it's just like a substance you're familiar with called water. At room temperature, it's liquid, and it's affected by gravity. So if you tilt the glass, it pours out on the floor. But if you put it in the ice tray and put it in the freezer, the cold temperature will make it sluggish, and it'll slow down the vibrations, and it will become sluggish and densify and turn into a solid like teeth and bones. You call it ice. But it's still affected by gravity, so if it falls on the floor, it'll crack. But if you take that ice and put it in a pot on a high fire on the stove, it'll eventually convert back into a liquid. And then if you keep the fire on high, it'll start vibrating fast. You can see, sisters know what I'm talking about. The water will start vibrating fast and start rolling and tumbling, right? And it's vibrating faster and faster, and it'll convert that liquid water into a spirit. You call it steam, or like a ghost stational vapor, and it's no longer affected by gravity. It starts descending. That's what the sister asked when I feel like I'm sinking in the bed, because your spirit body is raising up. And the separation makes you feel like your body is dropping down into the bed. You follow me? But that's the spirit aspect. When you convert that water through vibrations, it ascends up into the spirit. And then if you leave the fire on, it gets hotter and hotter, and it raises up, and it converts it not into spirit, but into ether. And then you look in the pot, and you don't see water, ice, and no longer steam in the room. So you say it's all gone. But logically, you can't get nothing from something. So it's only energy in transit. Like angels ascend and descend up and down your spinal column and raise up in vibration. They go from liquids to solids, etc., and they go on up to spirit, and you go up into the ether. You know what I mean? And then for them to come back down Jacob's ladder, which is your spinal column, every notch in your spine is a rung or a step in that ladder. You just turn the fire off, and as the kitchen cools and condensates, you can see the beads of moisture collecting all over the walls and floors and ceiling, you know, as it comes back down from ether to gas, right, or spirit. And if you could conceivably collect all them little water moistures and put it back in a container, and then put it back in the freezer, you can slow down the vibrations and make it turn back into into ice again, you see? And that's how angels ascend and descend from heaven to earth. Like on Jacob's ladder, when he was having a dream, he was seeing all that happen in his mind because his eyes were closed. When he saw the angels ascending and descending up and down that Jacob's ladder, we are climbing Jacob's ladder, that was him seeing the angels going up and down his spinal column in his dream. You follow me? With his eyes closed. And that's what happens to you every night, every single night. You go up there, but then you come back down, back into your physical body every morning, right? But on the day that you call when you pass, or I hate to say the word death, but it's the most familiar term that they use here, they're going to come and cut that cord just like in birth, and then you can't get back into your body. And you call that death, but it's just ascension, that's all. You go back to the spiritual plane that you originated from. And you're a whole light being. You're not missing nothing. When you're in your dream moving around, you don't feel like you got legs gone, or you feel just like you do right now. You understand? Because you're a whole light being like you were before. But you don't have, Sister Jasmine, you don't, when you're in the spirit like that, you don't get sleepy, because you travel like that in your dream while your body is sleepy and getting rest. But the real you never slumbers, and you don't feel any hunger, because you don't have a carnal body. You follow me? That's why, as I teach you all, and this reality flows through me like this, what's happening to you is that as you start to raising up in consciousness, you start losing your desire for food and sleep. Do you understand? But your spirit body never slumbers, so you don't wake up tired, Jasmine. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Ooh. Right.
I'm trying to, am I confusing you, Jasmine? Let me put it like this. Who has questions now about anything that I said so far?
No, it really made it plain to move.
Okay, go ahead. Somebody else has something to say or ask?
Is that similar to the whirlwind? When you were saying being called up, is that similar to the whirlwind the prophet Elijah experienced?
Yeah.
In the King James Version?
If you all get a pencil and paper and write down some of these scriptures, and there was a brother and a sister that was supposed to be, I asked them to check the Quran and the biblical text and the Holy Tablets so they could point us to brothers and sisters that were like Enoch, taken up in the spirit of John on the Isle of Patmos or Jesus, when he was taken up, being baptized by his cousin John in the Jordan. Do you have any biblical verses you could give us, chapter and verse, what somebody was taken up?
Yes.
In the world,
Second
when they call it. What is it?
Yeah. 2 Kings 2.
2 Kings
2:11.
2:11.
Chapter. Yep. 2:11.
Could you read that to us?
And it said.
Yeah.
I can. Hold on. It says, a chariot of fire, and horses of fire, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven.
That's right.
And then also, it came to pass as they still went on, and they talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven.
Who went up to the whirlwind in heaven?
Elijah.
Yes, Elijah. He went up. See, all of these prophets, they don't die. These brothers and sisters, they ascend up like I did, right? You follow me? That's why when the disciples went out with Jesus that morning, and they saw him up on a high place, and he was standing between Abraham and Moses, and all three of them were looking real young, about the same age. And then you remember that it was Elijah, I think, and Abraham, and that Abraham was thousands of years before Jesus, and Elijah was at least 8,000 years before Jesus, but they were all young men because they were taken up, and when they were taken up, there was no time there. And whenever you break speed, when you're traveling like that at past light speed, if you're in a vehicle traveling, when you're about to approach light speed, everything around you takes on a red glow, and time slows down. And when you hit zero, time stops, and you stop consuming fuel. And when you exceed or break speed, when you exceed 186,272 miles per second, then time starts reversing. You follow me? And you start getting younger. You follow? So we control all those things and have been doing it for thousands of years because we're over 100,000 years advanced over you all here on Earth. Are you following me? I hope. You following me? Right. Right. And I want to say, Danny, I saw you on Telegram, but I want to tell you, brother, don't get discouraged when they start trying to say they doubt what you're saying, this, that, and the other. Stand strong because you have facts. I mean, how many of you all here have seen me move stars and moon and the whole creation?
I have.
And how many of you here have moved stars and the moon yourself?
I have.
I have.
Every clear night.
All right, Danny, stand strong. Even if you're not a confrontational person. Huh?
I said I will. Will do.
Please come back, and y'all go into Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Telegram, Facebook, all these places, and do some battle with these people on the battlefield of the soul, because it's your mission. Your mission directive is to raise up the lost but now found sheep of the house of Israel, right? The 144,000.
Right.
Because the majority of people that you talk to, they're going to call you crazy. They don't believe that and all that. And they won't even give you an opportunity to prove it. You can just tell them, say, look, come to class. Or I'll call the Messiah right now and let him move something in the sky for you any way you left, right, up and down. Like the new sister here. Tonight, I promise you. Are you still here, sister? The new sister. Are you still here? Kiki. You see what happens when I start telling the truth? They get...
Can you hear me?
Yes, I do hear you. I'll make you a personal promise tonight. You're going to move the moon. You're going to move the moon and the stars yourself. Do you hear me, Kiki?
Yes.
All right. And if you don't believe anything I say again, you can go back and tell them, say, yes, real, that's him and that's them. That is the real Messiah and the 144,000 elite few, and we don't have much time. We only have till 2030. We better get our act together. You understand? And no matter how crazy it seems, the truth is more beautiful than any fantasy you could ever weave. The brother from Alaska here tonight. The brother from Alaska, are you here? Well, all right. I sure wish people would attend these classes more, rather than just saying they don't believe it and all that. And then it just come, Malachi, they say, I believe in Panababianu. Well, he told you don't believe, but to check it out, right?
That's right.
But to just dismiss it offhand and say that's a damn lie. I had a sister on Telegram telling me all the scientific reasons why I couldn't be moving the moon. Because of inertia and this, that, and the other, and the alignment, you couldn't do that. That would throw everything into chaos and all. I understand. When you get through talking...
the same messages.
Yeah, I understand. But let me tell you something, sister. When you get through with all those scientific white man explanations, just come and watch me do it. Now, run tell that. I know I can't do it, but I do it. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Also, stop trying to reduce the Almighty to a man. You mean talking about can't no mortal move the moon? I never told you I was immortal. Who said that?
That's right.
You got me all mixed up with somebody you know. I'm not your Uncle Willie. I'm Amun-Rayay. Meet your authority, Amun-Rayay, Asa. I'm the real Messiah, the prophesied return, the coming of the Messiah. That's who I am. I'm not a mortal man.
That's right.
And you're right, mortals can't move the moon. That's right, exactly. You got it.
That's right.
But you got to understand, look back at the scriptures, that whenever the real Creator sent people to earth, men or women, that he always equipped them with the special abilities to perform miracles. In other words, to give them a tool against natural doubts that people would have, right?
That's right.
I mean, it's hard to call a man alive that's raising the dead, Lazarus, and healing people and walking on the water. Now, you understand what I mean?
Yep.
Now, when you go to chapter 6 of the Holy Tablets, tablet 4, verse 181 and 2, it says that Malachi was the first of the 12 elders. And it goes on to the next verse and says that the last elder would be a profound teacher, I don't get the wording right, and that I would perform miracles greater and more glorious than all the previous ones. In other words, I'm going to do things that Elijah and Jesus and Moses and all them didn't do. Because I'm not only an apostle and a witness and a prophet. I'm the Messiah. I am one with the Most High. Also, I'm the three Mims: Akhmet in birth, Muhammad in prophecy, and Mahmud in the end. So when you get your holy tablets, go to the last picture in the holy tablets. You can see me standing there dressed in white as Akhmet and Muhammad. And out of the top of my head, you see this whirlwind we're talking about going up out of my head all the way to the Crystal City. And inside that vortex, you see all of you all dressed in white, brothers and sisters dressed in long white gowns, flying up that vortex with Sananda, Jesus, going toward the Crystal City with angels there with trumpets. What that means is not that y'all won't go up through my head, but that the information that's coming through me is going to heat you up and raise up your vibrations to like steam. Y'all start ascending up to the heavens. Do you understand me? It's through my teachings or what flows through the information coming through me. That's what's going to raise y'all up back into spiritual beings again.
Cool.
Dressed in white.
Amun, what
again.
Chapter did you say that? What chapter did you say to read that in the tablet?
Walt, Amun, could you tell them again? Oh,
Chapter 6.
Chapter 6, Tablet 4. And what somebody go find it for me.
80. I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay. Tablet 4. I'm trying to do this by memory. I think it's 162. Or what? Let me see my tablets. Because I don't want to misquote. Because, you know, first thing a Negro going to say is, I knew he was lying. I looked it up. Just him. No, they can't wait. You know, not that. Okay, yeah. Wait. Okay.
Somebody needs to make
they're waiting for to pounce on anything they can do and say I'm lying.
That's right.
Yeah, they waiting to pounce.
Somebody mute your phone. Mute your phone for me.
Anuka's mute your phone. She says not her phone. Somebody else on the phone with the line open. I don't know why you do that, and you know you hear all that noise on the phone yourself. So stop the feedback.
Thank
you. Be
you.
respectful. All right, thank you. Okay. All right, it's chapter 6, oh Danny, tablet 4, verses 168 and 169. Chapter 6, tablet 4, verses 168 and 169. And I'll read 168. And afterward, in the last generation, that's right now, there will be another Melchizedek. He keeps coming back in different bodies. Okay, and afterward, in the last generation, there will be another Melchizedek, the first of 12 elders. He's the first, right? 169. And the last, that's me, the last will be head of all, a great archpriest, the word and power of Anu, who will perform miracles greater and more glorious than all the previous ones, for all the ones that came before me. I'm that cat that shot Tuesday and put Wednesday to bed, right?
All right.
Yeah. And y'all with me. And I promise that you would one day do greater things than I. So know that and be encouraged. Also, the brother Asar and Keith and them, they found out a place in the Holy Tablets. I think it was chapter 5, tablet 6, verse 81, right?
Yes, right.
Where it says that Elion El is one of my names, and Allah and Anu and Amun and Elion El and Allah and Anu, they're all the same one. They just call me different names in different cultures, right? And languages. Just like Jesus is called Ios in Greek and Isa in Arabic and Jesus in Spanish, Horus in Egypt, you know, but it's all different titles for the same being, right? Like this stupid Negro on Telegram, Djer, I think, DSJER or something like that. He keeps arguing with me back and forth, you know, like something stuck on the bottom of my shoe. I'm like, what you call it, love, the sister to my, I love niggas, but you hate niggas at the same time because they're so ignorant. You know, I keep showing him proof after proof, mountains of proof, and the more proof I show him, the more he come up with stupid doubts and ignorant nigga questions. I'm like, man, what is wrong with you? Are you possessed? Are you the devil? Or you just cannot believe that the Messiah is a black man like you?
I think that's the question.
Yeah, I know you're talking about DJ SCR. DJ SCR is his name.
To be a white man.
Exactly. Yeah, DJ SCR, right? That's his name. Y'all need to go on Telegram and rip him a new asshole. He's stupid. But the danger and one of these little nigglets is that, you know, he can leave us up behind, but he's creating doubt and misleading and confusing a lot of people that would come to us. You follow me? And go get them left behind with his niggerism. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a black devil for sure.
That's what he is, a black devil. The Most High said if he was to bring the heavens down in layers, those black devils would call it nothing but piled up clouds. And I know he's right.
Ooh.
He could raise the dead and walk on water. Them niggas will be talking about, yeah, you can't do that. I can't. I'm doing it, nigga. What is wrong with you? You can't believe your own. What, you got lying eyes? Don't believe what you hear. Believe what you see. Believe what you see, nigga. Damn.
What's the name of the group? The Telegram group?
It's not a group.
Yes, Telegram.
It's just the Sabaean group.
And then now he got another sister. He got another sister all stirred up. She talking stupid too. Like she got a hole in her head.
Mm-hmm.
And the more evidence I show them, the dumber they get. So y'all just come there and bombard them with facts. That's all. I can't move the moon, but every time I tell her to go outside and watch me do it, she talking about, I'm not wasting my time. I said, listen, I'm telling you, you got a lifespan. You mean to tell me 3 minutes is too much to invest to decide your eternity? That makes sense to you? God damn, if you got good sense, I'm glad I'm crazy. Shit. How do you judge? How do you reason? If somebody say to the Messiah and they gonna prove it, just step outside and watch the move the moon any way you say. You don't have 3 minutes to go out there and see that?
That's right.
At least just think of it like this. You can divest yourself for me by saying, I went out there and looked, the moon didn't do a damn thing. That nigga's a fraud. But that's not it. What she's afraid of and what they're afraid of, that they know I can do it, and I will. That's what I mean by black devils. You understand?
That part.
There is none so blind as she who refuses to see.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to sit back like a monkey and start throwing all them old stupid nigga comments. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And people watch us going back and forth like it's an actual art, but it's like that fight what I saw with them reptiles and the people on Earth. It's just they get knocked down. That's the fight. I hit them, they hit the ground. That's it. And they make out, that they're being logical and right now is all this heavy shit. And the man that told you don't believe me, check it out. I believe in Father Baptist. And this year guy, he even got so crazy. Every time I give him a pateract about me, who's the new Wabi in Christ, Amun-Rayay, or count them not, or show him in the Holy Spirit, he starts talking about he don't believe nothing that's coming from Father Baptist after he was locked up. I brought it to the attention. I said, nigga, he's been locked up over almost 25 years. So you trying to throw away over half of his doctrine, over half of the stuff he taught?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
You don't believe in Malachi? You don't believe in Yanu? Stop lying, nigga. Stop lying. If you're going to throw a baby out with the bathwater and say you don't believe in over half the stuff he taught, you don't believe in him.
That's right.
Quit professing that.
That's right.
Now go sit in the corner with a tall, pointy hat. Seriously. And don't forget your helmet for the yellow buffs. You crazy, nigga.
Dutch.
Yeah, boy. Constipation of the brain and just diarrhea of the mouth. That's all.
That's right. Lingeria.
Yeah, I knew him been teaching about the return of Jesus and all that ever since he been back. Since before 1970. So that's his whole life work was coming here to lie to you? Nigga, you're not that important. You're not that special. Yeah, you ought to be on a special bus, nigga. You crazy. If you believe in the Amun, then you know the Messiah is back. The only question you should have is, am I him or not? And I can prove that over and over again. It will for you again tonight. So, what are you running from? And where you running to? The earth is round. The faster you run, the sooner you're going to end up right where you started, clown. Nowhere.
Go ahead.
You're running from the truth.
I understand. You're running from the truth, but you can't escape it.
That's right.
Whither to flee, there is no refuge. Just be glad I'm back. If it was true that Donald Trump, like he said on TV, raising up his hands autonomously toward the sky, talking about he the chosen one, he the Messiah, you better be damn glad Donald Trump ain't the Messiah, nigga. The way he feel about y'all. Ask them Mexicans if they made the right choice while they're voting for Donald Trump, what they crazy ass.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And he giving them the blues, boy. He kicking him in the ass just because he can raise his foot up.
Huh.
Yeah, he's shooting white people all in the head. You know what I mean? What do you care about a nigga? Now he talking about he want all the elections to be run by the White House, not the states anymore. And they building big concentration camps in every major city in the country. Who you think FEMA's gonna put in them concentration camps? They gonna put you niggas in there. And the ones that's making all that noise, they gonna be the ones left behind with that. In the pre-dug graves and coffins and things. Nigga, quit being. What you gonna be when you grow up? A gazoo? If you only had a brain. God damn. Instead of celebrating the fact that I'm back for you. Well, we can't get to that part. You're too busy doubting the reality of me. So ever since you've been in the world, you've been going to church, Reverend Rib Deacon Pork Chop, Pastor Fried Chicken, been telling you about Jesus coming back. That's all you've been hearing in every religion, and Islam and Christianity and Nuwapu. All that, I'm back now. Now now what's the matter? I know. I was in the world, but the world knew me not. I came to my own, but my own received me not. Isn't that a tragedy? I say that with a teardrop and a smile. Isn't that a tragedy?
Yes, it is.
Right.
That's right.
I traveled 76 trillion miles. Please mute your phone. Why are you leaving your phone open? Don't be niggardly. If you don't like what we saying, then leave. Don't disrupt the class. I know you got some heavy stuff that you want to say, little fella. Well, now's the time. If you don't like the way I'm teaching, then I said, well, here, I'll drop the mic. You pick it up. But I can tell you something. These people right here not gonna listen to that bullshit too long. I'm telling you.
Not at all. Not at all.
They bullshit proof. You understand that? All right, now.
That's right.
The new sister. What was her name? Kiki. Where you, it's 10:25. I need everybody to go outside wherever you are, and you in the islands. Tell me what you see in the sky. Kiki, could you please go outside and tell me if you can see the moon or what you see in the sky, the stars? You gonna perform miracles tonight. But don't stay inside the house and go get in a media platform and tell people they full of shit. I only follow Father Babianoon. If you follow Pilot Babby Unknown, then you know I'm back. He'd have told you that at least 10,000 times.
Every time.
I'm serious. Kiki, are you here? What do you see in the sky, Kiki?
Give me a moment. I gotta put my jacket on. It's currently snowy and wet.
I know it's cold, but go ahead. It's gonna be worth it. You don't get a chance to move the moon every day. Now, anybody else see something up there before her? Just say it.
A clear star, Amun.
All right. In the name of Amun-Rayay, I'm going to make it raise up. Go up. Name of the Messiah.
Oh, yeah. Moving up.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Now, drop down, name of Amun-Rayay.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. What do you see?
Yeah, dropping down, too.
I love you. What do you see? 1 second or so. What do you see, sister?
I see some stars.
Okay, pick one out. All right. Now, I want you to tell that star to raise up in the name of Amun. In the name of Amun, tell us to raise up.
Raise up in the name of Amun-Rayay.
You see it going up, right?
Yes.
I love you.
Wow.
Now tell her what you wanted to do now. You want to go left, right, or drop down? What you want to do? Go in circles? What?
Wow.
Tell her what you wanted to do.
Go left.
Go left.
What the?
What's it doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Wow. Moving left.
All right. Now what do you want to do now? Go in a clockwise circle or counterclockwise?
Counterclockwise.
Okay.
Go counterclockwise.
Yes, it is. In the name of Amun-Rayay, go counterclockwise for the sisters.
Oh, wow.
Counterclockwise.
That's right.
Everything's moving. Everything is moving right now.
Okay, Kiki, you see it, right? You saw it, Kiki? I love you. Could you please go back and stick your foot in some of them Negroes' mouth, please? Now, don't leave here tonight and don't bear. You know, you got to have integrity and bear witness. A whole lot of them Negroians, they go out there and see it, but they scared to tell each other. They got more fear of the devil than they do the Most High. Why are they defending that lie, Kiki? I'm not having no fun coming back here. They kill people like me. Every time I come in the world, they try to kill me. This is not a joke. I wouldn't play no game like that, Kiki. Where they trying to... They killed Martin Luther King for much less. He was just talking about being fair with black and white people. Correct. If you hear me tell the truth about the devil, you understand, you know, if I was a martyr, I have a lot to fear. But those that are with me vibrate on a different frequency because they're in a different world and they're in a dimensional shift. And people can't touch them. You understand?
You have to tell someone, Kiki.
Can't touch this. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Kiki, you said something?
No, I was saying to
That was
Kiki,
Cheryl.
yes, and now tell someone what she's done.
I love you. That's right. It took courage for her to come. Why does it take courage to just come and find your own Messiah? But I hear you, and I tip my celestial hat to you too, Kiki. We love you.
Thank you.
And we thank you for your courage and your sincerity. Let me ask you, Kiki.
We love you, sister.
Do you have my email address?
Love you, sir.
I love you. Well, welcome home. That's what we meant in the beginning. Welcome home, family. You walked with us before, you just back now, and you coming in before times get beyond repair. I think you're very wise. You understand? But my email address, could you write it down, please, so you can write a testimony of what you experienced with us? You got something to write with?
Yes. Give me one moment. I'm gonna let you know when I'm
Sure.
ready. Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
In the meantime, who else sees something they want to, especially you, Ann, in the warm Caribbean right there, what do you see in the sky?
Yeah, I see a moon. Well, but I see a moon, Amun.
All right.
In the sky.
Tell us what you wanted to do in the name of Amun.
I'd like it to move clockwise, please.
All right. In the name of Amun-Rayay, move clockwise. Just tell us what you see.
Yes, it's moving. It's shining.
Yeah, that's my energy making it gets brighter, right?
Yeah. I can see a face in there.
That's your face. I'll make it come clearer to you.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna just let it move around, and with your face. You're gonna see your eyes, and you can see your mouth moving like you're talking, but you can't hear the words.
Yeah, it seems to be vibrating.
Yes, it is. That's my energy is making it vibrate. And you can see your eyes and your mouth is talking. Yeah, I can see you in the moon. You the woman in the moon, and
Yes, I'm the woman of the moon tonight.
That's right. You the woman in the moon tonight. Kiki, are you ready for my email address?
Yes, I'm ready for it.
All right, Orion, Orion, Orion. Number 9.
Okay.
The real number 9, Orion 9, Star Mover. One word, STARMOVER, Star Mover at gmail.com. That's Orion number 9, Star Mover at gmail.com. Do you have it?
Orion number 9, Star Mover at gmail.com.
You know your stuff in the dark without a flashlight. That's right. Now, would you please type up a testimony and bear witness to what you experienced in class? Not just moving the stars, but also everything. Let them know in your own words if you think I'm the real Messiah and it's the real 144,000. Please let them know. We don't have no time.
My honest experience, like, you're real. You come to them real. You speak the real.
Yeah, just keep it real. Right, that's right, exactly.
Bear witness. Bear witness.
Bear witness, that's right. And when you send me that testimony, I'm going to send you back a gift of a lot of information, of links and videos and different things and information as a gift for myself, okay?
Okay, thank you.
To help you in your transformation right now, to make the dimensional shift.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
So you do unto your brothers and sisters as they would do unto you. I love you. Anybody else before I go?
You too.
All right. I'd like a few bad inshallah. I'll see you later. The Most High wills. I'm not to Blahi. Wamalakati. Wakitabihi. Wasulihi. Walyomi Alakati. It's me, Nita Authority, Amun-Rayay, Asa. Hazrat Snow, flying sandals. It's real. I'm back. And I'm black. I love you. Peace.
We love you. We love you.